What's up? If you're feeling stuck and you want to move forward and you've probably tried all kinds of things, but you feel like nothing's really happening or shifting, this might be the reason why. My name is Calvin Corelli. I am the founder and CEO of a software company called Simplero, where we help coaches share their gift intimately without burning out. We do software, we do coaching for them, and we help them just thrive and get their work out in the world. Check it out. So the thing that I have found that has held me back more than anything was my lack of belief in myself, and also my addiction to finding fault with myself, to criticizing myself. So if you feel like you're stuck and you're afraid like, oh, this might never change, and like you're trying really hard and you're pushing, you're doing all these things, and you're like, you just want to break through, right? You want more clients, you want a bigger audience, you want things to work in your business, but it's not really. This might be the reason why. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I did and where I was and what I did to overcome that, so that you can use that for you in your life. So I've got 4 pieces here. And the first one is I realized that I had an addiction to finding fault with myself, to criticizing myself. And so we all tend to have these habits of doing something that's not really helpful for us, right? It might be getting into a depressive mood. It might be addiction to anger. It might be addiction to, in this case, self-criticism. It might be an addiction to just watching Netflix too late at night and not getting anything done, and not having the energy the next day, or drinking alcohol, or whatever it is, weed, you name it. So one way to look at this is any habit, any pattern that meets at least 3 of your 6 basic human needs tends to become an addiction. And so for me, what I noticed was that when I criticized myself, it met a need for certainty, because it would bring me into sort of a little bit of a closed cocoon state, and I wouldn't get out there with my voice, with my message, with my content. And I wouldn't take the risks. I wouldn't put myself out there where I might get criticized by others. And so it kept me safe in that way. That gave me a sense of certainty. It would also, to some extent, give me a sense of variety, because it was like, well, it's different from like, I could be super happy and then I could go low and I could go up and down and all of that stuff. So it's like a seesaw. I can spice up things, or spice it down, if you will, if it gets too exciting. So that's number 2, is certainty and variety. Number 3 is significance. And one of the ways that this gave me significance was that it was a feeling that like I am so broken, so wounded, so hurt, like my problems are so big, I have so many faults, but also I'm so good at working on getting better and making everything better and improving anything, and I may find all these like tiny little faults, and then I can go work on them and process, and I'm so good at this processing. Oh my God, am I good at processing, right? Significance. And then finally, love and connection. So I would feel connection with myself. I would also sometimes feel connection with others, because I could share all of my processing and what I discovered and all these layers. And all of that stuff is awesome. It's just not necessarily, what I really want to, do. Like it's great to be able to process and do all these things, but like if it's holding you back from actually doing the work that I'm here to do in the world, it's not helpful. And so it might be the same with you. So I mentioned there's 6 human needs. The first 4 are, like I mentioned, certainty, variety, significance, love, and connection. The next 2 are contribution and growth, or growth and contribution. And usually, though, they don't become a negative addiction, they can become a positive addiction, and that's okay, of course. So look out for patterns in your life and see whether they meet 2 or 3 or all 4 of those lower level needs: certainty, uncertainty, or variety, love and connection, and significance. Does it meet 2, 3, or 4 of those? Because if it meets at least 3, then chances are you're addicted to it. And I see it all the time in my clients. When you break it down, oh crap, this pattern really fills this need. So what do you do with that if you find out that that's the case for you? Well, you do 2 things. Number 1 is you see it, right? You observe it and you acknowledge it. Number 2, and that alone honestly starts to shift things right there. But number 2, what you can do is you can decide on a new behavior that meets the same needs but is actually positive. that moves you in the direction that you want. All right. So that's how you handle addiction. We usually have many addictions in that manner. So just look out for them and then change them. It's just a pattern. It's not who you are. It's just a pattern that you've learned and you've kept doing that. Number 2, I found out that I had a little boy inside, one of those little like personalities, inner multiple personality things. It sounds like crazy, like multiple personality disorder. But the reality is that we all have these different personas. Is what some people call it. Personas that come out at different points in time and that got kind of built at different times, like usually to protect us, right? To keep us safe. And so this little persona showed up, and we kind of know that, right? If you're in a relationship with a significant other, you probably have every once in a while, you have this experience like, oh, your mom just showed up, or your dad just showed up, or like my dad just showed up. Like you're like, oh, interesting. That it's like, it's part of me, but it's not me. It's not normal me. Do you know what I'm saying? And so those parts probably exist within you as well. And I found that I had a little boy inside of me whose job he felt it was to keep me safe by finding something that someone somewhere might criticize me for, and then criticize me for that first, so that I would never be blindsided. Because to him, the worst thing that could happen is that I was there all happy and hunky-dory and everything's awesome, and then someone comes along and criticizes me. But Calvin, have you thought of this? But Calvin, you haven't done this. But Calvin, this is wrong because this. Whatever it was, if someone could possibly criticize me, he needed to find out what that angle might be and then criticize me first and then make me go fix it, make me go do something about it, so that nobody would ever have a valid angle to criticize me for. And you can see how that could keep someone quite busy, because there's always going to be some lunatic somewhere who can criticize you for something. Right? And if you're doing anything interesting, you're going to find a lot of people who vehemently disagree with what you're doing. You know, even if you're like, I'm just on the side of good. I'm just for a world where, I don't know, say adults don't go having sex with children, maybe. Like, that's kind of what I'm for. And then people are like, no, bad, you can't do that. Like, you or whatever. Or like, I'm for a world where if you have legitimate questions to some of the mainstream normal scientific lines, or maybe health assumptions behind the health care system or health industry, like, then that's worth pursuing. And it's a question that's worth asking, such as, for example, how does placebo work? Like, do we know how placebo works? Do we know how gravity works? And if it's like, no, we don't, well, then maybe that's something we should ask questions about. That's what I stand for. And to me, that's like pretty commonsensical, but it's still something that a lot of people might take a lot of offense to, right? Because identity, like our beliefs, our opinions become part of our identity, a part of who I see myself as being. And then it becomes part of my tribe, like like we're social creatures, right? So I get safety from being part of this tribe. And in this tribe, we believe this. These people are good and these people are bad, and these ideas are good and these ideas are bad, and these ideas are right and these ideas are wrong. That's what we believe. And if I step outside of that, A, it might threaten my identity, and B, it might threaten my belonging to this tribe. Big problem. Big problem. So people can be offended by that. People can criticize you for all kinds of shit that has nothing to do with you, that has everything to do with them. And it's their right, and it's totally cool. But if you run around like I did, constantly worrying about whether someone might criticize you for something somewhere, then you are screwed. You are royally screwed. And so what I found was that there's this little boy who found that it was his job. And once I connected with him, and you're gonna have like a little dialogue, like once you connect with that piece, like, hey, like that person, that side of you, that voice inside of you that's like, no, but wait, like you can sit down and just like talk to him or her. Be like, hey, what's your name? Like, where do you come from? What do you need? What are you afraid of? Like, what's What's your goal here? What are you looking to achieve? And then you can have a conversation with them. And then what I like to do, and it's very important that you don't abandon, that you don't kick this part of you out, but rather you integrate him or her. So what I like to do is say, hey, that's not your job. This is not your responsibility. You're just a kid. You get to go play and have some ice cream and have some fun and zero responsibility. I will take care of that. I'm the adult. I got this. Don't worry about it. Trust me. And usually that will make him quiet down and go away. And he might pop his head in again at some point, in which case you just go, hey, there you are again. Yeah, I remember you. Look, like, I still got this. You don't need to worry about it. All right, I got it. I'm the grown up. You go be the kid. And that's how it should be. And the reason why this person probably showed up in your life was because, there was a part of you that felt that you had to be adult before your time. It happens to a lot of us. I feel like it happens to a lot of us who are in the coaching space, a lot of entrepreneurs, like too much responsibility or a lot of responsibility at an early age, and we felt that we had to be grown-ups, and we weren't really equipped to be grown-ups. So we kind of had to wing it. So we put on this mask of like, there's really a child, and the mask is like, I'm grown-up now. Can you see it? And we just go around playing adults all day long. It's like, is this what an adult would do? I think. But it's just a kid inside. And like, honestly, this is like 90-something% of adults, by biological age in the world is that. They're just kids inside that haven't grown up, that are wounded, that are still looking for somewhere to plug in their umbilical cord, and are just acting adult. And it's okay. It's human. It's normal. But that's why I'm on this journey to share my healing journey and inspire you to go on your healing journey so that we can be grown-ups in this. And there's no shame in it. It just means that we're human. Yeah. It just means that we're human. All right. The third element is upper limits. And upper limits is a concept from Gay Hendricks, who is phenomenal. And one of the big ones for me was about feeling disloyal. Like, in my family, we don't have that level of confidence and belief in ourselves, and that, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm the shit. I'm fucking awesome. Like, I'm freaking amazing. Like, look at me. I'm incredible. We don't do that. We're like, yeah, it's like, yeah, well, you never. And part of it is my culture too, of the law of Yenta, and like, don't think you're anything, and don't think you can have anything to teach us or give us or any of that stuff. Tall puppy syndrome kind of thing. But a big thing for me was that feeling of being disloyal to my family if I really thrived and really believed in myself, really owned my worth and my value. And so whatever that is, like, what are those stories? What are those beliefs? What are those fears for you around if you really stepped into it? Because what I found was that as I felt into, oh my God, if I really had everything I dream of, relationship and health and finances and everything, like, how would that feel? And it felt awful. It felt like I was going to throw up, because I was like, oh, I felt sick to my stomach, because people like us don't do things like that. People like us don't live like that. We have problems, and we talk about our problems, and we are excited about things, and then they never quite work out. And then we're back to square one, and we talk about the next thing. We're like, yeah, but it didn't quite work, but I'm going to try this. And like, that's what people like us do. So that's an identity, and it's a tribal connection that I had to break. And so whatever that is for you, and it was all in my head. I'm not saying that any of my family members or anyone's like is really like that. It was all inside my head. And so I had to break that. So what is that for you? What is that identity, that trial belonging for you? And the fourth piece I want to talk about is the habit of comparison. Comparison is like the craziest thing. So I'd be like, well, I don't have anything to offer because I'm not as rich and wealthy as this guy or that guy. And I'd look at some other person on the internet and be like, well, he has this cool house, or he has this like supercar, or he has like this body or this family or this whatever. And so who am I? Like, I need to do that first. At first it was like, I need to make multiple six figures. I need to make $1 million. I need to make 5 million. I need to make 10 million. It's like, it just keeps upping the ante. And then I realized that comparison is it's such a stupid game, and we all tend to play it. But you can always find someone who's doing better than you in some metric. You never know the full picture. They might feel like shit inside. Their health might be terrible, their relationship. You never know, right? You can never know. You can hallucinate. But we like to find, when we want to make ourselves feel down, back to the addiction and the 6 human needs, when we're addicted to making ourselves feel down, we pick someone who's ahead of us and compare to that person. And usually it's just someone who's a few steps ahead. Like if you're doing 100,000, you find someone who's doing 500,000. If you're doing 1 million, you find someone who's doing 5 million a year. Or if you're, whatever the area is, if it's health, like you're looking for someone who's like a little bit better. And then I realized, one of my mentors is doing, say, like 100 million. And I'd look up to him and be like, oh my God, but I'm nothing because I'm not that. And then I'm like, well, I mean, if he wanted to, he could look at, say, another person who is worth 500 million and feel like he hasn't achieved shit yet. And then he looks at another person that's worth 5 billion and then he's like, well, who the fuck am I? And then he looks at Elon Musk, who's worth 400 billion. And then it's like, well, I mean, I have no right to talk to anybody about fucking anything, right? And that's when you realize the absurdity of it, right? Because you can always find someone too who's doing worse than you and compare to them, and that's going to make you feel better about yourself. But it doesn't matter. Just stop fucking comparing. Just stop it. It's a dumb habit. It's a really dumb addiction. Stop it. Just stop it. When you find yourself comparing to someone else and using it to make you feel good about yourself or bad about yourself, just stop it. You can compare to learn. You can compare to benchmark. That's fine. The definition of competition is to conspire to make each other better. So comparing in that way is cool. Like, oh, they could do, like, how can I use that to make myself better? But don't use it to bring yourself down or to make you not believe in yourself or your worth or your value. Like, think about this too, right? Elon Musk is worth $400 million right now. He's the richest motherfucker on the planet. And he's loved and he's hated. But when he started, he had the belief in himself. He had the guts and the conviction. He believed in his mission and his dream and his ability to make it happen. He wasn't sure he was going to make it happen, but he believed that if he put everything into it, like, he believed in himself enough to actually really give it everything he'd got, knowing that he might fail. And even before he had any evidence to back it up, he bet on himself and he chose to believe in himself. That's how I want you to think about you. And this is where, like, sometimes it's easier when you're just getting started and then you get going and you have this lock in the beginning and then things get more tricky. It gets harder. And then you're like, crap, like, what do I do now? And then you're like, you fuck some things up and they don't work out, and then you start doubting yourself. So you can have this like initial, yeah, and then you kind of plateau, and then you're like, can you stop believing in yourself? Like, I want you to have a very, very short-term memory and get back to that initial belief. Yesterday's failure is no predictor of tomorrow's result in any way. You're a new person today. You're a new fucking person every day. Choose to be new. Choose to believe in yourself. You fucking got this. Be a new person. Be the person who has your back, who believes in you. Sometimes we didn't get the support from our homes that we wanted, that we thought we needed, right? You needed exactly what you got. So, but we don't always get what we want, right? And if we'd gotten what we wanted, we wouldn't be the person that we are today, that we're proud to be. Once you've overcome the shit that you had to overcome, we all have shit to overcome. If you didn't get the support that you wanted back then, make sure that you don't repeat that pattern with yourself today. Give yourself the support that you deserve, that you crave, that you want. Like, have your own fucking back. Really, have your own back. Don't expect anyone else to have your back. Don't expect your spouse to have your back, or your parents, or your friends, or anyone else. Have your back. Make that your mission. I'm going to have my back like nobody's fucking business. Like, I'm going to have my back like the most backhaver in the history of the backhackers of the fucking world. I'm going to have my back so bad that people are going to be like, oh my God, what the fuck happened to your back? It's insane. Like, your posture is insane. Yeah, I'm going to have my back so much that I couldn't imagine having my back anymore. Make it a game to really fucking have your back in any situation, any circumstance. No matter what happens, you got your own fucking back. Make that your mission and see what happens. Because what I want you to believe in yourself. It's the number one determinator, determinant of your outcomes. And I want you to have incredible outcomes, not just for you and for your family, and you deserve that, but not just for that reason, but because you are here to bring something incredibly important to the rest of the world. You have a piece of the puzzle of the entirety. The moment you were born, the world was not complete without your voice in it. We need you in the world. Do you hear me? We need you in the world. Please, for the love of God and everything holy and the rest of us, please find that backbone to believe in yourself, to have your own back, to get out there, have the courage to put yourself out in the world. I know you can. I know you got this. Please do it. Get over your bullshit. Get over your sob story. Get over your victimhood. Get over all of the, love all the parts of you that are just trying to protect you. They're just trying to help you survive. And you did. They were successful. You fucking did. You survived. You're here today. Do you hear me? Love all of those parts of you. Love all of the people who helped you become who you are today, even if it didn't feel like love at the moment, even if it wasn't exactly what you were wanting at the moment. Yeah? Love every part of it. Because it brought you to this moment. You've got everything you need. You've got everything you need inside of you, present in your life right now. And it starts with you believing in yourself and having your own back. I'm in your corner. I trust that you will be too. I love you. Share this with a friend who needs to see this. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the ding button. There's a podcast somewhere at some point as well. There's my website. We've got some free stuff or something. But be in my universe. But most importantly, do your fucking thing. You got this. I love you. See ya.